Welcome to our second center of consciousness, the sacral chakra, called Svadhisthana. So this goes really well with the first video, which you can find on YouTube or on other social media platforms that I've made to go along with this, where we talk about our first chakra, which is our basic belonging, groundedness, which is super important so that we can really go into the second center with confidence and ease and openness to discover its gifts and also how it affects us, how this center of consciousness is linked to our endocrine axis, to our ways of perceiving life and feeling. It is so powerful to be able to connect inward and to remember your own inherent wisdom, which is always there. And this is, as you can see in the image if you are looking, but you can also have your eyes closed, of course, the water element. It is being and having your own place. So from having been grounded at the base, knowing you've got that base chakra energetic within you and all the hormones that work with that, you have that stability from within you, which will get you much more freedom to step up and change and listen to yourself. We are now at the center of inner movement, flowing, being able to change, just like water does. See the ripples, see how it moves, see how it goes over rocks, has little trickly, beautiful subtleties to it. And also, of course, immensities like huge lakes, oceans, tsunamis. And here are just some little images, but you could delve deep and reflect on how these images affect you. How that nourishment of water is sustaining nature and nature is one with it. And how the same thing is within you. So the sacral chakra is really about union with yourself, and there are certain breathing practices that enhance this, which we will experience. But one of those types of breaths is really noticing the belly and then doing some circular, subtle breathing. It is linked, as we say, with polarity. There is always polarity within emotions. What feels right, what doesn't? Are we able to listen to ourselves and meet our emotions or not? Can we yield? Can we just be still and feel it all? Can we allow things to just let go? Can we allow them to take their own course? And how do we recognize what is right for us? So the things that we may get in tune with on this journey is by also letting the body move, like we do in our yoga practice that goes with this. Letting the body move and feeling where it is feeling free, what emotions might be there, and tuning in, taking that time to see also, of course, how this connects to your health, how this connects to your endocrine system. So in this case, it is linked to the adrenal glands, which lie above each kidney. And they are to do with adrenaline and cortisol and aldosterone, which creates, certain responses to stress, raising the heart rate, for example, or the blood pressure. It is linked with all sorts of things like digestion, how we work in the body to heal, inflammation. It's even linked to circadian rhythms. So there is ATCH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is also linked to so much in terms of your health and well-being, with rest, ability to slow down. So this is deep, and all the chakras do work together, but as a focus here, we can look at ways in which we want to move forward in our forward bend, in our backward bends, what we are feeling that we're happy to receive and attract. And most of all, one of the biggest tips I would give anyone is, how do you nurture yourself? How do you honor your emotions? Allow yourself to feel it, allowing yourself to journey through it and see what each emotion can teach you, because this is a powerful place of emotion, sensuality, self-nurturing. And this contains, when it's balanced, a fulfilling, graceful movement of a journey through life. And when it's not fulfilling, it's quite stiff, rigid, numb. And there are all those variations, just like in water, and there's no right or wrong, because it is all your unique journey. So are you allowing yourself to expand, or are you contracting too much? Are you having too many boundaries or not enough? It makes a huge difference between the river and the ocean and the lake and the little tiny branches, and all have their place. So we're going to look at that during the class, and I welcome you and invite you both to really journal about that. What's happening for you? Do you tend to have problems with your urinary system, with your kidneys, with your bladder, with your sexual organs? Do you feel there's a limitation there? Are you connected with it, or are you ignoring those areas? How do you judge others can often be interesting about their sacral kind of activities. This could be belly dancing, this could be hip movements, this could be having period discomfort or not, this could be many things. Can be also linked with held back anger and fear, which then eventually can cause blockages that need to release through gentle movements, breath work, and simply allowing, perhaps journaling down, what are those fears. What are these unexpressed angers, perhaps? Because they can only rule you when they are unexpressed and buried and hidden, because then they simply pop up just when you least expect it. And then suddenly you're wondering what happened, and you don't even connect with yourself. You don't even understand where this outburst comes from. So then as you slow down, you might remember, oh yes, this is what happened in my childhood. This is what happened before, and I'm still triggered. I thought I worked this through. But maybe this is the next level of this exploration. Because there are all these levels. And as water flows and trickles and evaporates and condenses, it is life. And life is the water. And so when you go into that experience, notice, how do you flow? Do you receive? It's all about money even, because currency is linked with this, the gold. So do you receive money, or do you give money away easily? And have you got that balance? Do you feel shame in certain emotions, or like you can't meet certain emotions? Remembering that those vibrations will keep you stuck there a lot more, and then it is very hard to step up and go into self-love, which is where we will go in the heart center. So breathing into this aspect of your being, noticing even in a drought there is still some water and moisture around. There's still replenishment and change. Noticing that even amongst the tsunami, there is a clearing and a rejuvenation. How do we meet it? How flexible are we? How do we navigate those extremes, those polarities, those interesting experiences too, which offer us polarity, which is really what Svadhisthana or the sacral is about. And within that, finding your own place, which brings us back to what I always will mention in most classes, and that is your observer state. Simply noticing. So are you able to connect and allow yourself to go deeper into your very, very powerful sacral chakra center of consciousness, which will in turn give you much grace, freedom, and a sense of deep well-being and nurturing from within, and healthy boundaries. So I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to intuitively move your hips, move your belly, breathe into it, sense it, connect to the color orange. We will be connecting with sound. We will be connecting with particular essential oils. You can get into crystals, into visualizations, or into purely going beyond and just feeling what is the wisdom there that wants to become noticed and conscious today. And each day, this can be very different. Each day is another layer potentially, another way of noticing or being triggered. And triggers can be the greatest gifts if we don't see them as a negative thing, but as an exploration of polarity, of something buried or hidden, or something that wants to flow, or something that wants to be contained, something that wants to give, or something that wants to receive, to be expressed, to enjoy freedom. And strangely enough, too much freedom is not always comfortable, and then we want to create some belonging again within a group of people or an environment. And then within that, we want to have freedom. And so this is part of that beautiful, unique dance that we all make and have and must honor. It will call to be honored, and if we ignore it, it may come out in all sorts of interesting outbursts perhaps, or experiences, or spontaneous behaviors that we may not be expecting. And of course, on the densest level, it can cause issues in the physical body as well, sadly, but truly. Looking at that as a sign and a gift also really helps. So noticing that this is linked to your hips, your sacrum, your abdomen, your sexual organs, your inner thighs, your knees and joints, and of course to your kidneys, to your own water element, to your urinary system, releasing, letting go. This is all very emotional. This is very, very, very emotional. And this is where it is related very much to not just the emotion, because it's always one-on-one, but also with the physical. Can you hold things in? Do you hold them in? Can you release them? Are they released with grace? And just feeling it. You've got such a key to yourself here. Breathe into it, closed eyes, and just noticing what's happening, what's there. Your unconscious has all the answers. And what happens is, we ignore the unconscious and think we need to move forward, get on with life, get stuff done, or it's simply too hard to understand what's there, or we don't have time, or what if it's traumatic? And yes, that's where you can have a guide, someone to support you, someone that will hold space for you. And at the same time, I always say, you've already been through it. You already made it. And now is time, if you're ready and you're feeling it, to let some of that go in your own time, with ease, grace and flow for your highest good, trusting your intuition. And your intuition will be stronger as you balance your sacral, as your earth element is strong and your water element is also really softly flowing for you, strongly flowing for you. And even though that is a paradox, you know how it is and how you need different aspects of yourself in each moment. There's never staticness or stagnancy. There's always change and flow. And when we realize that, there's a peace there, a deep peace, because it allows a creative, infinite loop, an infinite expansion even, not a loop. It feels like a loop perhaps if we don't trust it, but we can expand, we can be free, we can flow from our groundedness right now. Breathe that in. Breathe it out. Welcome your own wisdom, your own chakras, your energy, your connection to your endocrine glands. Your mind is powerful. Enjoy the journey and reach out anytime with questions or sharing. You are amazing. You have all you need within you. All we need is to look and trust and listen, which is all the same thing.